As with any of the best aircraft designs, it took a little while to refine the Harvard, or T-6 Texan as it was known to the US Army Air Corps and later Army Air Force and US Air Force, into its final form. The early ones had fixed undercarriage rather than the retractable gear. And that was bought by the Royal Air Force and the Royal Canadian Air Force as the Harvard II, and it became a mainstay of the Commonwealth Air Training Plan in Canada. As Second World War hostilities developed, it was deemed far more desirable to train pilots away from areas where enemy activity was likely. Canada was seen as being a suitably safe bet, but there were some problems associated with that because at the time the first Harvards were being supplied to the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan, the United States was of course still neutral. It hadn't entered World War II yet. Circumvent that though by having Canadian nationals physically haul them across the land border. The aircraft then took off and were flown to their bases. By the end of 1940, more than 800 Harvards had been delivered to bases around the British Empire. And the President of North American Aviation, Dutch Kindleberger, was congratulated by telegram by Lord Beaverbrook, the head of the British Ministry of Aircraft Production, for the company's efforts. There were service flying training schools equipped with Harvard. Used them during their colonial conflicts in Algeria, and the US Air Force employed them in the Korean War as forward air control aircraft. This one, which comes to us from Kennet Aviation, was built by North American Aviation in 1942, and it's flown in the US Army Air Force olive drab scheme. This aircraft has been used a lot over the years as a tail dragger trainer for warbird pilots, not least those of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight and Royal Navy Historic Flight. It was only earlier this year that the last Harvard on the British military register was struck off charge and sold because Kinetic, they had three, collectively known as the Yellow Perils. One of them was lost, the second was sold during the 1990s, and the third stayed on until it was sold and is now with the Aircraft Restoration Company at
And we've got the Royal Navy presentation team. We'll be talking through what the Navy's up to today and in the future, and the Military Wives Choir will be performing there as well. Over there we've got the Maritime Aviation Capability Exhibition, which is future technology that's all coming into service, with all the new aircraft, the new missile systems, and all the sensor arrays in there, so do go and have a look over that as well. All interesting stuff over the static park. In the centre you've got more static displays of all the traders, and the funfair. And over to the left, as you look at the display line, we've got the big C-17 there, open for everyone to go and have a good wander around. And behind that, you might have noticed a few of the helicopters going in and out.